it's Jennifer from Sea Lemon. I mentioned in a previous video that I was thinking of doing a pegboard system on my wall, and I was in the process of researching the more traditional kind of pegboard, and then I saw that the IKEA in my area now carries their own pegboard system. So I went to go check it out, and I saw all of the accessories, I saw the display had sketchbooks on it, and I was sold. Plus, I'm kind of a fan of IKEA, so they got me. They usually make things pretty simple to put up and install. I'm kind of new to the whole pegboard system, so I thought I'd try it out. In this video, I'll take you through my process on how I installed it. I'll show you all of the accessories that I got and how I made them work for my own organizational needs, and I will give you some tips in case you are interested in making your own pegboard system. I'll put links to everything I used in the video description below. Also, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Thank you, Squarespace. I will talk a bit more about them later, but for now, let's get into it. First, I think it helps to measure and evaluate the space you want your pegboards in, and also take note of any containers you already have that could work within those pegs so you don't have to buy extra stuff you don't really need. I had a few containers already that I knew could work on the pegs in some way, I just didn't know how quite yet. The IKEA pegboards come in 2 colors, brown and white, and 3 different sizes. There's a skinny rectangle, a square, and a wide rectangle. They're all the same height, 22 inches, so they can work well in a combination or single, and you can also use them on both sides, so if you wanted to use it as a desk divider, you can use the front and the back. Unlike a standard pegboard, I liked that it didn't require some kind of mounting wood frame behind it. It came with all of the mounting stuff that you need. And the boards seem thick, sturdy, and easy to clean, unlike some of the other pegboards I've seen that are thin and wobbly. The main thing that makes the SKÅDIS, I think I'm saying that right, I don't know, my Swedish friends out there, tell me if I'm saying that right, are the holes. And you can't use the board in the opposite direction, you have to make sure that the holes are going vertical. Otherwise, the accessories won't hang on to it. And that also means that they probably won't work with any other type of accessory but IKEA's. So once you buy into the IKEA pegboard, you're kind of in their ecosystem. Before IKEA, I was planning on going with this 4x4 pegboard from the hardware store and mounting it to these wood pieces to make a frame behind it. I wanted to include this in case you find the IKEA stuff is too expensive, because it's definitely a less expensive option, and it's really up to you what you want to use. I will link these down below in case you want to check them out. Initially, I wanted to make a long row of pegboard on this wall, but then I figured I would need more space than that, so I stacked them and I did 2 rows. The instructions are what you would expect from a typical IKEA instruction pamphlet, but I thought it was really helpful that they included the measurements between the mounting brackets. So if you plan on stacking multiple together, they make it easy so you know the height and the width between the brackets. And it was really helpful that they included the measurement between the screws depending on the size of board you're using. So mine is the wide rectangle and the X is 60 centimeters, and that's what I need to measure out on the wall for each board. To make my life easier, especially with mounting things on the wall, I used my AccuMark level, and that will help me get things straight and more precise. I started measuring out the bottom row, and I'm doing 3 boards on the bottom and 3 boards on top. And turned my level vertical to copy those marks to make the top row, and I just needed to use the measurement from the pamphlet to determine how high to make those. And Kona was helping me by watching the boards and providing moral support. Now it's time to drill the holes for the screws, and I'm doing a little trick with a folded post-it note underneath the drill so it catches all the drywall, and then I don't have an extra mess to clean up on the floor. The boards don't come with anchors or screws, so that part is up to you, and I'll include which ones I used in the video description. I loosely screwed on the brackets to the wall because I did have to readjust them later. Add the bottom parts to the board first, then screw on the top parts to the brackets. And I didn't tighten those completely either because I did have to go back to each board and slightly readjust them so that they align together flush. If you don't mind a gap between your boards, you don't have to do that part, but I wanted them to all go together as seamlessly as possible. They're not going to be perfect, but I wanted to get it close. I think IKEA designed them that way because there is a little wiggle room on the bracket holes and the mounting holes, so if you have a gap between your boards, you can easily push the board up or down and then screw them in place. So this is as close as it's going to get, which is pretty good in my opinion, and I made sure to tighten all the bracket screws and the mounting screws. Now let's move on to the accessories. I got a little bit of everything at the store just to try them out. This one came in a 3-pack and it's a plastic container with a metal lid and it slides out like a drawer. I think these would be good for small loose materials. I also got a small metal shelf that has a lip around it so things won't fall off. This one comes apart in 3 pieces and they go together like this to store rolls of something like tape or ribbon. I got this to hold my hammer, but it's actually too small for a hammer, so it could be good for holding pliers or paper punches. A square metal container, which is similar in size to the plastic containers I just showed you, but as you can see on the back, they hook onto the board differently. These clips came in a 2-pack and they could be good for organizing random papers or hanging up artwork. These are kind of your standard hooks that work with a lot of things, and they come in a 5-pack, which is good because I used a lot of them. This one I was really excited about because it can hold my books onto the board and hold reams of paper, so I got a few of these. I think these would be good for holding a large roll of something like fabric, paper, maybe a tube or a poster. These are elastic hooks that came in a 3-pack, and they have a lot of possibility. You could hold a lot of different things with these, and to be honest, I was kind of surprised at the quality of them. They're really stretchy, but they are also really strong. These longer hooks came in a 2-pack, and if you couldn't fit something on this hook, you could probably fit it on the longer ones and hang more stuff. Alright, now let's see these in action. I started with this one to hold reams of paper because it does take up a lot of space on the board, so I wanted to put that up first, and then put up my notebooks above that. For the pens, I'm using my DIY pen holder, but I'm removing the hanger from the back because that was originally for hanging on the wall, and if you want to learn how to make these, go check out this video. I will also link that down below. To hang these, I came up with a little hack using the elastic hooks by looping it around the inside tubes, and it does take a little work to get it on, but once it's on, it is pretty secure. This is my solution for pens that are better stored horizontal, and I put all my pens in all of the 4 containers that I already had made. For the little drawer bins, I put small stuff like tacks and binder clips, and for the round hooks, I stored my paper punches. I already had these IKEA containers on hand, and I hung them along the bottom with 2 hooks. For the tape that I'm going to take off the board a lot, I hung those with the elastic hooks because it's a lot easier to take them off that versus this thing. I think this is better for holding stuff that doesn't need to be removed, that can roll off or be cut off, so I put some washi tape and ribbon. And these loop hooks are also good for holding tape, and they're easy to remove and take with you. I hooked on a couple of these to hold a lightweight basket full of more adhesive supplies. For my acrylic paint bottles, I wanted to use the same holders I was using in my last office, and if you want to learn how I made these, go check out this video right here. These paints don't necessarily need to be stored horizontal, I just like the way they looked, and I thought why not continue that on these pegboards. And while I put up some of the other supplies, I'm going to talk about today's sponsor, Squarespace. They provide an easy way to make your own creative website, and if you're looking for a clean layout to your site, go check them out because they have beautiful modern templates. You don't need to worry about the coding, and they have 24/7 customer service. You can go to squarespace.com for your free trial, and when you're ready to launch your site, go to squarespace.com/clemon for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain, and I will also link that in the description below. For my smaller tubes of watercolor paint and oils, I added a binder clip on the end and hung them on the longer hooks. If you have binder clips that color coordinate with the paint color, that works even better. The clips can be used to hold random odds and ends, and I liked using them to display the art you guys send to my P.O. box. It seriously brightens my day, so thanks again for sending this. I organized all my fabric paint on the longer hook and the shelf, and I also put my porcelain paint on the shelf, made an area for all my measuring tools, my drafting triangles, my level. and displayed more of my books along the top. I'll admit that it was kind of overwhelming to figure out where to put everything, and I think the best thing to keep in mind is what is going to make these things most accessible. To use my printer as an example, I chose to display all the paper over there because that's where it's going to be the most accessible and organized, so I can easily take it down and print what I need. I might end up changing things around as time goes on, but that's the beauty of a pegboard, is that you can change stuff around as you need it without making a gazillion holes in your wall. And I'm sure there are plenty of DIYs and hacks you could try with the accessories and the hooks, so I might try some of that in the future. If you have any experience to share on pegboards, or if you've tried some hacks, let me know in the comments below. Tell me your experience. I would love to read it. This whole new office is a work in progress, and I will make more videos in the future as I continue to organize it. So stay tuned, because there will be more videos on DIY workspace kind of stuff. If you want to see the videos I already have on that topic, go check out this playlist right here. I will also link that down below for more office type DIYs. And be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell icon. Even if you are already subscribed, hit that bell icon so you can sign up for post notifications. Otherwise, you won't know when I post a new video unless you look at your YouTube feed, and sometimes things get lost in the shuffle. So definitely sign up for post notifications. Also, a quick shout out to my patrons. Thank you for supporting this channel. And if you want to become a Sea Lemon patron, go check out this link right here. I will also put that down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!